Hello, children. Good morning. Let's start our third part from the lesson Glimpse of India, Tea from Assam. Pranjal, a youngster from Assam, Pranjal, name of a youngster who belongs to Assam, is Rajbir's classmate. Rajbir is another character here who is Pranjal's friend or classmate at school in Delhi. Pranjal's father is the manager of a tea garden in the upper Assam, and Pranjal has invited Rajbir to visit his home during the summer vacation. So let's start the story. Chai garam garam chai, a vendor called out in a high pitched sound, a high pitched voice. A vendor was calling for the tea. He came up to the window and asked Chai Saab. The vendor came to the window and asked them for the tea. Give us 2 cups, Pranjal said. Pranjal asked him to give them 2 cups of tea. They sipped the steaming hot liquid. They were sipping the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Everyone in their compartment was also having tea. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? Rajbir said. Rajbir asked his friend whether he knows that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. Wow, exclaimed Pranjal. Pranjal was exclaimed, surprised. Tea is really very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Now the train came out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in the detective book again. Again, Pranjal started reading his detective book. Rajbir too was an ardent fan of a detective story, a keen fan, a very much ardent desire, a heartfelt desire, a ardent fan, a good, you can say a very very much fond of detective books, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. But at this moment he preferred to see at the beautiful scenery outside. It was green, green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much of greenery before. He said, there is green everywhere, there is greenery. Then the soft green paddy field gave way to tea bushes. Then slowly there were the paddy is a rice fields, and away from the rice field there were the tea bushes, tea plantation. It was a magnificent view. It was a very splendid, beautiful view against the backdrop of densely wooded hills. Against the backdrop, on the back there were densely wooded hills. Wooded hills means there were the dense forest on the tree, on the hills. A sea of tea bushes stretched as far as I could see, and it seemed that there is a sea of tea all around. Sea of tea means not the tea which we drink, but the tea garden or the tea plantation, it means here. Dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade trees. And because of the tall, sturdy, strong, shady trees, tea plants were looking were appearing to be dwarf. Dwarf means short heighted. And amidst the orderly rows of bushes, busily moved doll-like figures. And there were the bushes which were of equal size. Among those bushes, it seemed like doll-like figures were moving over there. This is the description of the place, how they were looking. The scenery was when they were watching the view from the train. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of the tall chimney. In the distance, far away from that place, they could see a building which was quite ugly, and from a chimney the smoke was coming out. Hey, a tea garden, Rajveer cried excitedly. Rajveer was excited to see a tea garden. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on plantation, did not share Rajveer's excitement. On the other hand, Pranjal, who was born and brought up in a tea garden, he was not at all he did not share, he did not join Rajveer in his excitement. On this tea country, now he said, Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. Assam is the largest concentration of tea plantation in the world. You will see enough garden to last to your lifetime. He told him that he is going to see the endless tea gardens here. I have been reading as much as I could about the tea, Rajveer said. Rajveer said that he enjoyed reading about tea. No one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legends. Legends means you can say Dant Kathaएं. There are many legends about the how tea came into existence. No one exactly know actually. Well, there is one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. There's one story which tells that a Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking. One day, a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water. The pot was few, like you can say, the leaves from a plant fell down into the water, and gave it a delicious flavor. It is said that they were tea leaves. Tell me another, scoffed Pranjal. Pranjal said to tell him another story about it. We have an Indian legend too. We have an Indian story also about it. Bodhi Dharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic, cuts off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. One Buddhist monk was there whose name is not been mentioned here, who felt sleepy during meditation. So he cut his eyelids. 10 tea plants grew out of eyelids. It said that out of those eyelids, 10 tea plants grew. The leaves of these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, banish sleep. It is said that when the tea leaves are put into water and one drinks it, it takes away the sleep. Tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far as back to 2700 BC. In fact, words such as tea, chai, chini are from Chinese. Tea came to Europe only in 16th century and was drunk more as a medicine than as a beverage. The train clattered into Mariani Junction. Train stopped at Mariani Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. The boys took their luggage and they moved towards the platform. Pranjal's parents were waiting for them. Pranjal's parents were already there waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards a Dhekia Bari, the tea garden managed by Pranjal's father. Soon they started moving. The car moved towards the Dhekia Bari tea garden, which was managed by Pranjal's father. He was a manager over there. An hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. An hour later, the car changed its direction from main road into it took a turn, changed its direction. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dhekiabadi tea state. They crossed a bridge and entered in the Dhekiabadi tea state. On both sides of the gravel road were acre upon acre of tea bushes. Around the both sides of the road, the road which was made up of gravel. Gravel is bajri. There were the acres, and on the acres and acres of land, one could see the bushes of the tea, all neatly pruned to the same height. All were equally cut. Pruning, actually, it is called. The cutting of the extra part is known as pruning of the tree. They were cut at the same height. Groups of tea pluckers with the bamboo baskets on their back, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. You could see the people in the tea garden plucking the tea leaves. Pranjal's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. Pranjal's father slowed down the car for a tractor to pass from there. That tractor was carrying heaves of tea leaves. This is a second flush of sprouting period, isn't it, Mrs. Barua? Borua is the surname. He asked Pranjal's father, sir, it is the second flush or the second time or the sprouting period. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. He said this season or this plantation, this part, lasts from May to July and produces the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjal's father said in surprise. Pranjal's father was quite surprised to hear all these things from Rajveer, and he said that before coming here, he has done a good research over this. Yes, Mrs. Barua, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I am here. Thank you, children. It's all done. That's all.